So there comes a point in time when a beloved celebrity finally reaches that age to where they start letting who they truly are slip out. Over the past decade, people have been getting cancelled for anything your mind can come up with, especially celebrities. So eventually they made it a point to not speak on certain topics out of fear that someone might take it the wrong way. And even then, people are still going to find a way to take what they said and make it seem worse than it really is. And I'm not talking about all these new influencers who pride themselves on saying controversial things to try and impress their audience. I'm talking about the people who you can just tell feel a certain type of way about a group of people that when they eventually slip out and say something, you're like, I knew it the whole time. Like Hulk Hogan and what he said about black people. And while not about a particular group, David Hasselhoff's infamous cheeseburger video will get an honorable mention. Speaking of Hulk Hogan, forget I even had this. But you get my point. Around the ages 50 to 60 is when a celebrity will start to crack, and it's up to the people around them to make sure that dinosaur stays in its egg and doesn't spawn a movie franchise that's 3 movies too long. And there are some cases where they crack prematurely. Kanye West is a perfect example. He still had a few more years before all this anti-Semitic sludge started spewing out. If Kanye's personality was a baby, it would have died at birth with how premature it was. Can I say that? No shit, I just did. I meant for the video. But 11 days ago, Snoop Dogg appeared on the It's Giving podcast. And about 3 days ago is when people started to actually watch it and caught Snoop Dogg being an ignorant piece of dirty brown water trash. Better play the video quote before I get called racist.
And you're dirty brown water trash. And you're always going to be dirty brown water trash!
Now, some of you guys might have seen a post about this somewhere, but Snoop Dogg took his grandson to the movies to see that movie, Lightyear. So this whole thing he's about to explain happened back in 2022. But he takes his grandson to the movies, and this is what happens to him.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Keke Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Keke's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? So it's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
What'd you tell him?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn. Shh.
You said, we don't know.
It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age. Like,
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. And I don't even know the answer that's rehearsed. What am I supposed to say? Was the lady used to be I got questions.
What the fuck are they talking about? Imagine growing up as this gangster rapper who sold crack and has been on trial for murder only to get scared of a fucking lesbian couple in a children's movie. Have these retards not heard of adoption? Why did they automatically assume that one of the characters used to be a boy? Do they think like that about all lesbian couples they see with a baby? They're like, did one of them used to be trans? I don't know how to explain this to anyone. Like, the only thing I'll agree with is when he told the kids to just watch the movie instead of asking questions. But I mean, how hard is it to say the kid was adopted? Not even that, I can guarantee you that he was exaggerating how his grandson asked him, because when the fuck has a kid ever took his attention away from the movie they're watching so that their parents can explain to them why 2 women have a baby, especially when the movie is about a fucking astronaut named Buzz Lightyear? I can guarantee you that his grandson asked him about this and he said, I'll tell you after the movie, and the kid never brought it up again. And you want to know the funniest part about this and how everything Snoop Dogg said is just a bunch of old person bullshit? So by the way he talks about this scene with these 2 moms, you would have thought the entire movie was focused on that. Yeah, it's literally based off Buzz Lightyear, but what do I know? I've never seen the movie. Good thing a day is 24 hours long, and the movie is only about an hour and 45. But I watched the entire movie, and out of those entire hour and 45 minutes, the 2 moms are shown on screen for a total of 13 seconds. And not even consecutively, and they're only shown holding a baby for 4 seconds. The rest is him being grown up. But by then, so much has gone on that a kid would never stop and be like, biologically, that can't happen, Grandpa. I'm gonna need you to explain how this happens before I watch the movie and continue it. Before this, you know what, tell him to pause the movie because Grandpa Snoop needs to explain to me why 2 ladies are having a baby. Like, showing this scene was basically a filler for the story, basically to set up the storyline. The other mom didn't even talk. If he had asked his grandson about the 2 moms after the movie, he'd be like, I don't think Buzz Lightyear had 2 moms. Are you high again? This is a Disney movie. What the fuck are you talking about, Grandpa? And you know what's even funnier than all of that? So the reason the clip I showed you is formatted like this, but the clips I'm playing right now in the background aren't, is because they actually went back and deleted that section of the video where he goes on this dumbass rant. Look and watch for the cut right here.
I don't like that.
See, that goes back to the presentation I spoke to you earlier. What you see is what you see. They putting it everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's so crazy what they teach you so young.
You see, and then the clip I have starts from right before they cut it off.
What you see is what you see. They putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz.
You can't be a podcast host who goes back and edits their interviews. That's the dumbest thing anyone can do. And I mean, I don't blame her. She was probably getting secondhand high from all the smoke and was too stupid to understand what she was really saying. But hey, now we know that she eventually realized what she was saying and took it out. But people like Marlon Wayans also saw this clip and responded by saying, I'm tired of defending this dude. I defended him on his criminal shit, the Gayle King situation. I took heat for defending him online when he performed for Trump. But this crosses the line. Sooner or later, you just realize someone has issues. There ain't no Hollywood agenda to turn kids gay. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Disney characters lie, steal, cheat, kill, poison, and everything. And don't nobody say it's an agenda to turn their kids into a piece of shit. I watched Snow White when I was a kid, and I ain't gave a lady a poison apple yet. But as soon as a gay character pops up, it's an agenda. The agenda is to make your kids empathetic, not gay. White people acted the same way when black people started being seen on TV. And he's right, just because your kid is curious about how 2 people had a baby, as if there wasn't more than one way for 2 people to have a baby, doesn't mean that Disney's mind control is working on turning your kids gay. They're just curious, you dummy. Like, if you think showing a gay couple for 0.2% of the entire movie is going to somehow turn your grandson gay and or scare you from wanting to go to the movies again, then I hereby crown you the first ever Soup's Pussy of the Month. It was going to go to Violet Myers, but they told me that was going to get us demonetized. Sue me for wanting to have a little fun. But it's kind of crazy how many people are agreeing with Snoop Dogg. Like on TikTok, most of the comments on these clips are like, I 100% agree with Snoop. And anyone who says that, you can tell didn't watch the movie and is just going based off what he's saying. Because look, if they made it a point to have the couple be shown throughout the entire movie, then who cares? It's still a couple that doesn't exist. Just wait until you see a real one and have to explain it. But like, the part of the movie he's complaining about was so small that him talking about this scene was 1,000 times longer than how long the couple was shown for. But yeah, guys, Snoop Dogg is officially that age to where he doesn't really think about what he's saying and it just comes out. And now with the way everything is in society, hating on gay people just made him even more popular. Tune in tomorrow to see who our honorary dick of the month is. Women candidates only. Until tomorrow. Peace.